Hey, Hollow Dwellers, it's your favorite unreliable narrator, back at Justice Hollow. Welcome back, one and all. Wipe that demon dust off your boots and grab a seat on that cracky old throne made from recycled hell gates. I hope you came prepared with a conspiracy hat and a healthy dose of skepticism, because tonight we are diving headfirst into a warp to wonderland of DmC Devil May Cry the reboot. Yeah, that 2013 spin off that took the stylish Demon Slaying series and twisted it into a punk rock nightmare, where society's biggest lies don't just gaslight you, they literally reshape the city under your feet. If you ever wondered what happens when propaganda, control, and identity get weaponized into a boss fight, because we are diving into that. So, buckle up. This isn't your grandma's fairy tale, it's a punk rock psycho trip where billboards bite back. And trust me, after my last rumble on Lies of Peace Tangled Truth, this feels like a demonic sequel we all secretly needed. Let's unravel the psychological dysphoria of Limbo City, where every street corner is mind game and every choice echoes louder than Dante's trash talk. Right out of the gate, picture this, you're Dante, a Nephilim rebel crashing a party in a world that looks like a corporate hell had a love child with a glitchy simulation. Limbo City isn't just a backdrop, it's the star of the show, a parallel plane lurking right under the human world's nose, controlled by demon who pull strings like puppet masters on steroids. These aren't your Guardian Variety Underworld friends, they're overlords who have hijacked reality itself, editing the fabric of space time to keep humanity docile and deluded. Think about it, Limbo manifests as a ever shifting maze where street holds like origami, building lunge at you like aggressive architecture, and skylines scream subliminal messages straight into your soul. It's not a random chaos, it's a deliberate design. A metaphor for how power structures in our world manipulate perception without ever showing their hand. Demons like Mundus ran the show from the shadows, using limbo to project illusions that look like everyday life but twist into nightmares the second you poke at the illusion. No wonder Dante starts the game dodging cop cars that morph into hellish pursuits. It's society enforcing conformity but cranked up to existential horror levels. Now let's get real for a second. Psychological dysphorias in game aren't new. Think Bioshock's underwater propaganda or 1948's title screens. But DMC makes it visceral, turning the abstract construct into something you hack and slash through. Limbo City embodies a cognitive dissonance on a massive scale. The human world sees shiny ads and stable streets. But peel back the veil and it's convulsing beasts enforcing demonic agendas. Propaganda here isn't just subtle whispers, it's blaring horns from demonic broadcasters like Bob Barbus, whose talk show spews lies about saving humanity while funneling them towards a depth and despair. Studies on real life media manipulation shows how repeated exposure to biased narrative warps beliefs. Psychologists call it illusory truth effect, where lies feel factual after enough airtime. In DMC, that effect is literal. Limbo's environment reinforces Demon's narrative, making rebellion feels like a madness until Dante starts assembling the sources. I mean, come on. If your morning commute suddenly decides to swallow you whole because you question the news, won't you grab a sword too? Personally, I would be yelling at my coffee maker first, but Dante, he styles on it with angel and demon arms, flipping between grace and fury like it's a bad hair day. As you hack your way through the early missions, Limbo's anatomy reveals itself layer by layer, each district a twisted commentary on institutional level. Take the opening stage through urban sprawl. Neon lights flicker with ads promising salvation through consumption, but twist into a demonic taunt when Limbo activates. It's a direct nod to how advertising preys on insecurities, turning desires into saints, and in the game, these saints are actual hellish tendrils yanking you off ledge if you don't keep moving. And then there's the financial district, Silver Sacks Tower, looming like a phallic symbol of greed, where demons guard vaults of souls siphoned from the poor. Climbing that monstrosity isn't just platforming, it's ascending the ladder of capitalist exploitation, fighting off waves of security that represent systemic barriers. Psychologically, this mirrors how economic inequality fosters the Euphorean mindset. Research from social psychologists like Henry Tesfall shows in-group favorism creates us versus them divides that justify control. DmC amps it up. The tower collapse symbolizes shattering of illusions of wealth as protection, but it also unleashes more chaos, hinting that dismantling one pillar doesn't fix the foundation. I have played that section so many times, believe it or not, and each time I feel the rush of that catharsis mixed with dread. Like, sure, topple the bank, but now the streets are flooding with pissed off imps. Level design or psychological warfare? Both, my friends. Shifting gears to the nightlife underbelly. Missions in the club district turns hedonism into a hypnotic trap where pulsing lights and thumping bass lure you into vulnerability before Limbo wraps the dance floor into a death trap. Demons here embody escapism as control. Succubus Queen Lilith peddles pleasure as distraction from oppression. Her lair is a throbbing heart of addiction. It's no accident. Real psychology ties dopamine hits from vices to compliance, with studies on behavioral addictions showing short-term high masks, long-term subjugation. In DmC, Dante cues cut through haze. Parties over ladies, but fight mechanics force you to dodge illusions of indulgence, blending combat with metaphor. Let's not forget the media hubs where propaganda towards Mundus decrease, twisting public opinions in real time. Destroy one, and the lies falter, ignore it, and the city reinforces the grip. It's like fighting a TV during a bad electric cycle, except the static beats fight back with hellfire. These set pieces aren't filler, they are games thesis on how institutions, finance, media, leisure, externalize internal control, making your mind to be the battlefield. But amidst this swirling madness, enter Cat, the human anchor who keeps Dante from developing into another rage machine. As a medium with traumatic past, she is a terror to empathy in the world designed to erode it. Cat doesn't swing swords. She navigates Limbo's poles with sketches and intuition, pulling Dante back from the brink when his hybrid nature tempts him towards isolation. Her visions pierces demonic illusions, revealing demonic influences hidden in plain sight, which underscores a key psychological truth: connection combats manipulation. Think about attachment theory. John Bowlby's work shows secure bonds build resilience against coercive environments. In DmC, Kate's role humanizes Dante. Their banter starts perky but evolves into genuine trust, contrasting the demon's divide and conquer tactics. Without her, Dante is just a lone wolf howling in the shadows. With her, he is a part of something real, fighting not for vengeance but for protection. The way game slips in her backstory, abuse survivor turned register, making her more than a sidekick. She is the heart of proving humanity persists even when reality fractures. If Liza P's lies tasted Pinocchio's soul through deception, Cat tastes Dante's true vulnerability, reminding us that in a dysphoria, empathy is the ultimate rebellion. Of course, no psychological dysphoria worth its salt skips the good tyrant trap, and DmC delivers with Vergil, Dante's twin whose sharp shoots and sharper ambitions. At first, Vergil is this cool-headed strategist, exposing demonic realism with calculated precision. But post Munda's defeat, his ideology cracks open like a fault line. He argues for new order, Nephilim ruling the humans, for their own good, protecting them from their chaotic freedoms by imposing structure. It's paternalistic control at its finest, echoing real-world authoritarianism where leaders promise safety in exchange of autonomy. Psychologists like Stanley Milgram's obedience experiments illustrate how ordinary people defer to authority under perceived threats, and Vergil embodies that allure. After Limbo's collapse exposes demons to the world, humanity panics, ripe for a savior. Dante rejects it, choosing messy liberty over sterile order. But Vergil's downfall DLC flips the script, showing his isolation breeding true sociopathy. Power without heart leads to tyranny worse than the old one. It's chilling how game humanizes Vergil's logic. In moments of doubt, you almost buy his pitch. However, those endings makes you question, is enlightenment worth ensuring apocalypse? As the credit rolls, or rather as you stagger out of the final boss rush, The rapture hits hard. Mundus falls, limbo bleeds into human world. And suddenly, demons walk among us, no veil to soften the horror. Silver Sax crumbles, and news anchors sprout horns on the live TV, and streets erupt in visible pandemonium. It's not victory, it's raw exposure, the psychological cost of truth unfiltered. In dystopian hits like Huxley's Brave New World, illustrates provide comfort, rip them away, and the society splinters. DmC nails the terror. Freedom from lies brings clarity but also grief. As Dante confronts the losses and the questions his place in the unmasked reality, he ends up as the guardian of the fragile peace, protecting the border between the worlds. A Nephilim never caught in duality. It's poetic, identity forged in the force of collapse, where surviving the mindscape means embracing its scars. Compared to Lies of Peace's personal deceptions, DmC scales it social. One puppet's lie ripple into the city's unveiling, proving dystopias thrive on collective denial. Let's pause the analysis for some real talk, because games like these just don't entertain. They mirror our own tangled webs. In a world bombarded by algorithm and echo chambers, Limbo City Street feels eerily familiar. Adds tailored to your fears, news bending to power, escape numbing to the knees. Psychological studies on cognitive control, like those in Daniel Kahneman's on first versus slow thinking. So, how we are wired for shortcuts that manipulate exploit. DMC weaponizes that, forcing players to question, am I fighting the system or just the symptom? And Dante's arc, it's a reminder that hybrid identities, part rebel, part monster, thrives on balance, not suppression. I have binged enough shows like to know hesitation in short screens. It's different. It lingers, makes you reflect on your own limbos. Those mental spaces where doubt reshapes your path. Hell, after scripting this, I am eyeing my newsfeed sideways. What illusions am I buying into without a fight? Community around DMC has always been hotbed for this stuff. Reddit threads debating Vergil's righteousness, fan art of Limbo's horror, even mods that amp up the propaganda elements. Some swear by the punk aesthetic as social commentary on gold. Others gripe it strays from classic Dante's flair. But that's the beauty. Like a good dysphoria, it sparks division, makes you pick sides. Streamers still roast the combat loops while unpacking the lore and the story. It's roasted even more. If you're grinding Vergil's downfall, that DLC that cranks up the psychological dial, his isolation spirals into a masterclass on how control corrupts the controller. No spoilers, but it leaves you with uneasy itch. Was Mundus the real villain or the system we built to replace him? Before we wrap up this mindbender, drop your thoughts below. What's the most Dyphorian limbo moment that stuck with you? The tower climb, the club haze, or the post-credit chaos? Did Vergil's pitch ever tempted you, or Dante's wild freedom the only way? Share your wildest stories on how it ties to real-world control freaks, and I will try to weave it into future videos. Subscribing keeps the hollow lit without lies. Hit that bell so you never miss a descent. Next time, maybe we tackle another spin-off psychic trip or something lighter. Who knows? I might even step outside. Nah, that's a few. For now, keep your perception sharp, your rebellion stylish, and your reality shaked. This is Chester's Hollow, signing off of the edge of limbo.